I believe I finally done it. I'm not sure, but I think I did. I may have made a Japanese friend. It's difficult to tell because Japanese people are very polite. So I don't know if they're just being nice to me because like that's their default mode, or they genuinely seem friendly. Time will tell. But so far, I am quite certain. And because I have a Japanese friend, I can now give you news from Japan. I can tell you what's trending. So based on the number of views on this video, right, like how much is being shared, I will take it as how interested people are in this subject. And if I have like a lot of interest, I might make more videos like this. If not, this is going to be a one-off. But anyway, you may be aware that there is a country called China. And China has an interesting system, much more different than other places in the world. It's not a democracy. So it's got the Communist Party that is looming and guarding and providing trust and safety towards its citizens. It also has a lot of technology to spy on people, right? Like it's how it works in China. Now, certain Chinese people may wonder, it's like, do we have to live like this? Is this the correct way? So the Chinese government is trying to show examples of how bad things are in other places, right? Like basically they will say, look how bad things are in the United States. Look how bad things are in Japan. Aren't you grateful for being Chinese? Like this is how the propaganda works. But unfortunately, recently it seems that they're not sending their best. I guess like with the economic problem that is happening in China, they may not have the money to afford good propagandists. Because this is what was being played. So apparently like this Chinese national living in Japan has something very interesting to say about Japan.
東京湾の水を吐き出すシーンも。
东京这个海水啊，是真有股核废水的味儿。
So basically, he took a glass of seawater, put it in his mouth, and claims it tastes like nuclear waste. Don't you have like tests to do that? Like can't you test for nuclear waste? I mean, if but anyway, don't they have like that Geiger counter that goes like? Does that not work with the water? Or who drinks salt water though? But like the biggest question that I have is like, how does he know how nuclear waste tastes like? Cause I don't like no. Unironically, if you give me a glass of water that is filled with nuclear waste and I put it in my mouth, I may say that it tastes funny, but I wouldn't know what it tastes of. Apparently, people in Japan are making fun of a manga. So apparently, a lot of the propagandists who are responsible for this beautiful skit may actually be fans of the Detective Conan manga. Like as you can see, there was one issue where Detective Conan finds like this is powder, and he takes it, puts it in his mouth, and he knows it's drugs. I actually, you know, like I generally have a question for like law enforcement. Like usually they have dogs, right? Like they train the dogs to recognize the smell of drugs. But you sometimes like see it in TV shows and movies, and I always wonder like, is that genuinely a thing? Like you have you know, the cops going in and they have like this big powder, this big pile of powder. Sorry, it's like, and after they arrest the bad guys, they enter a room, and there's a table. And on the table, there's money and some white substance in a bag. So the cop starts to cut the bag, and then like he takes the powder, and he either like sniffs it or puts it in his mouth, and he goes like, La cocaína. And I'm wondering like, how the fuck would you know? Like I wouldn't know. Like if you give me something, like I may say that, yeah, this isn't flour or this isn't sugar, but I wouldn't be able to say that. Like bonus points if he actually names the drug, all right? Like if he goes into detail and he goes like, this is pure la cocaína, 25%. Did you guys see that in American movies? Is this like genuinely how it happens? Because I'm curious. I assume like it must have like a different taste, right? But still, you wouldn't know unless you. Anyway, right. This is, by the way, like this is how doctors used to do this. Unironically, before modern medicine, like we learned this at med school. It's just, in order for a doctor to diagnose if someone had sugar disease, right? Like they didn't know what it was exactly. They didn't know what diabetes is. They didn't know what caused it. They didn't know the correct treatments for it, but they did know how to recognize it. So like they would know that if a person's piss tastes sweet, then they have sugar disease. And I think like, yeah, like they would put them on a diet, which would probably prolong their life, but it was still like you had to taste the person's urine in order to figure out. Now you may say that that is disgusting, but take into account that physicians at the time were only someone that could be afforded by nobles, by very wealthy merchants. So in a way, it's justified, right? Like, sure, I mean, you're drinking a patient's pee, you're drinking the king's piss, but at least you get to live in the royal palace while everyone else lives in a hut with their farm animals. So I guess like maybe this is what's happening. Like we're witnessing a new method of detecting radioactivity in the water, but by having like the person just drinking it and then spitting it out. I assume like the physicians at the time also spat it out. So, but anyway, the main reason that I made this video wasn't just to make fun of it, but also that it reminded me of my childhood when we lived under the Iron Curtain, and the Romanian government would do the same thing. Like they would have all these skits that they would take from other places in the world, and then they would show you how bad things are there, in order for you to appreciate being under the Iron Curtain a little bit more. Of course, most people knew that it was fake. There's also like this documentary that's going around where North Korea is claiming that they're showing stuff from the United States, but I believe that one is actually fake. So I couldn't present it here because I don't want to spread harmful disinformation. But anyway, right, let me know what you guys think, and if you like the video, please subscribe. I noticed a lot of you aren't subscribed, and it does help me with the algorithm, or at least that's how legend has it. The election season is coming in the United States, so I don't think even the algorithm can help me, but still, I managed to try. And more importantly, don't forget to check the pinned comment in the comment section, assuming that I don't forget to pin it. I usually do pin it. But I'll see you guys there. Take care.